this always is with me like a last minute. I'm jumping on YouTube to give you guys some information on what's going on in our world. There's a process of physics at play on this planet that was never taught to us. There's a very simple physiological, see, because we say physical education, right? Well, what's PE? It's not PE, it's physical education. And then what do you do in physical education? You learn muscle control. You learn how to kick a ball. You learn how to throw. Even home economics. Y'all remember home economics? Well, what's that? And you'll say, okay, well, it teaches you how to make an egg. No. What it's doing is teaching you how to crack an egg. It's teaching your body and your mind how to control different variables in with your physics shop class. We don't have shop class anymore. Why? Because it teaches you how to make things at home. You know, there's been a lot to all my ascended and my star crew. And I'll probably talk about a couple of things today. Because we did just come out of 2 sub-4s. Now let me tell you, no matter how ancient you may be, or however, whatever, these were 2 sub-chambers of your soul. I guarantee you didn't think he's gonna have to fight for. Because they went down to what you would call in physics 0 point. Now let's talk about 0 point, because everybody wants to call themselves 0 point. You know, I see, but I mean, really hear what you're doing when you do that. You're turning yourself into a black hole. Now, what you would call the spiritual community, and I'm talking all shamans, whatever books, even Dolores Cannon, I'm talking any of it since the get, because I mean, all that information came from where? Teachings and writings of mystics and H.P. Blavatsky and all these beings that everyone thought was a separate entity. Number one, we thought it was a separate entity. Meaning H.P. Blavatsky wasn't attached to every single person that she trained, but she was. If you're a healer and you've been healing people, if you're not cleaning your energy appropriately, or even if you're a healer and you've been healing other people through your ascension, you're like me, and that's how we put back together the DNA. Please call me. Because you're not healed until somebody more powerful or equal from you can get it off you. Until then, you're in it with them. Now, this just happened to me. Thank God. Thank God. And spirit and angels and all y'all. All the ascended that see through the eyes to get us messages and to get us the help we need, because that's how this physics works. It's working now. If you're tuned to it. I had a being come in to clear me. But oh my gosh, the 0 point that I walked was all the way back from Hermosa. In a healing that I did there because of where I was being taken, literally, by what you would call spirit or whatever is gonna clamp you down and put you in what you'd call hell. Now they's taken me because now I know. Now I know. See, now that I'm not in the well, in that moment in my reality, because when you're in the well, and see, this can change in a heartbeat on earth with the hued up being. See, this is but as a collective, we're all coming out of different subchambers. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I mean, if you're not activated, if you're not spiritual, then boom, boom. It could be two like that. Allow everybody to change too, and be kind. And if you're activated, remember, we just went through this in 2018. Yes, it did reset. Yes, you're having to say some of the same stuff again. Yes, it's not on record. Yes, it was deleted. Why do you feel like you're on a repeat of 2018? Why is everybody coming back in your reality from then? Or why is it the same freaking situation? I thought I'd healed from this. You did. China had your reel. We've already been through the beta version of what they're doing right now. Those of us that are in the fan club, well, we all know what happens in the fan club, right? You go crazy in an elevator and kill your boyfriend. Go to jail. If you're in the fan members only or whatever, I would suggest not doing it. If a celebrity comes to you on Instagram or whatever and wants to pull you into a Google chat room somewhere, unless you've done it before and you know that you're outwitting or getting your energy back, do not do it. Do not. Because the physics of technology is what everybody doesn't know. The physics of technology is what your Asians and your everybody sitting on top of the dragon's back. Not anymore, you're not. See, you want to sit up high on a mountain and then you want to claim it as your own whenever you were told not to build there in the first place. And this goes back to Benjamin Franklin in the United States too. See, the whole world went through an ascension in 2018. Now, that word ain't even proper, but there is a place in Mexico called Ascension, and it did go off yesterday. And in fact, I'll put the picture I found on the Holden page of this of us coming out of it. Because Terra came out of your planet. Now, we're still coming out a piece at a time. A piece at a time. Why? Because it's physics. And you're having an experience. Nothing can just happen. Especially the more ancient that you are, because what you're not realizing is that the moon cycles and the uncoiling and all the timelines, okay, that you cut and healed, okay, are on a cycle like this. Okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, this ain't normal. So, you know, to all those who are like, we're in a simulation, yes, we were. China stole the codes in 2015. Safari, they did a big, huge hack. Remember? I don't know if that happened to you. Apple. If you had Apple and all of a sudden your Safari got stolen, well, I know when they did it. They did it to me. Because I just got out of tech then. They had just stole the codes. This is all being set up. This has all been set up since like 7,000, 10,000 years ago. Realize that you have beings that have been down here for 50 years. 50 years just hiding to come out and start murdering people now. Or even worse, their entire family lines for the last 500 years have been breeding a serial killer. Literally. Now, see, in this twisted world that we's in, with what manipulation of your mind, because it is what it is. All the energy rays and satellites and every single bullshit thing that they put up in this area they call space. Guess what? They can't put this up there unless subterranean. There's something down here to hold every single one of them. Why? You're in a big ass bubble that reflects. We all like mirrors, but whenever I draw this circle and I say you're in a bubble, how come y'all all think you can see through it? Now really think about that. If you're in a bubble and you're in, because everybody wants to think, okay, I'm in a bubble, I'm in the sky. Not necessarily. No, you can be in a bubble in a bunch of oil. You can be a bubble in the dirt. You can be a bubble on top of a skyscraper being held. Now, right now, and this is what we teach over here is co-life. This is how to live, like life now. Until this cycle is over, this is how your years are going to line up. And I mean over, it's not going to be until what? At least 2032. At least. That we're gonna be done with the land falling, blah, 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 okay? When that happens, because then enough of the bubbles down here are either gone, they're cleaned off, whatever, it don't matter. They transition into because look, the whole collective bubble is going up. The whole collective bubble ain't tuned to baby boomer. We ain't tuned to BB. We ain't tuned to double D, sex, blah, blah, blah. We don't have no P and B between our ears. No peanut butter and jelly. That's what they were doing. P's and B's, it's Babylon. The physics of, you say, pa, 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 I'm in prison, and I like the preacher, and pa, pa, pa. You're going, pa, 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 pa. I don't care. You can believe in it all day long. Don't say it. What's funny is we also realize that those children that come in with speech impediments, no, it's not what it is. They know not to say that frequency. It don't mean that they shouldn't learn not to. No, it means that what they need to learn quick is, okay, well, evidently you abused your L's. See, because where we're dealing with the ones that are about to have justice, that everybody wants justice, you're going to be surprised at who they are, so are we. Because we want to say, you know, these words Anunnaki, which nobody even really understands because they're not listening, and because you want to title it, and in a human body, in order to make it real, we have to call it something. Well, what I'm saying is they's all in one little unit. This is what we can call it. This thing moving around, attacking your brain, telling you to do shit. We're watching every kid right now go through it because their mind mapping has been on what? They are, see, and this is, and this is, it's this is, that technology is the Antichrist. Now, you're speaking to a woman who spearheaded. See, everybody on this channel, please remember, I did not get into spirituality. I got attacked by the 33 Masons and spells done to me since the beginning of why I was here. As your Venus, as the one in the chamber to do your DNA, as Kristen Renee Genzel, that y'all made me Kristen Renee Genzel. So I came here and my whole family did our little experiments on us and gave us all their pills in the 70s so they could get y'all all hooked on them, so that then they could get our tech out, so that then they could know what to do now, just like Steve Jobs came and got a keyboard. Well, he's Job. No more jobs. And then Steve created this entire character of Stevens and Stevensons and Eves, Streets of Eve, because you think that the name Steve is just the name Steve, and you think that every Steve is a different character. No, it's not. No, it's not. Especially if you're a Stevenson. Because if you're calling yourself Steve, I don't care, then you're really saying that you're the Street of Eve in quantum. And the whole world was being run by quantum. So if you now know that this whole earth, and especially the United States, was one big what? Truman Show. Well, hold on. T-R-U-M. So if I add a percentage right there, that'd be Trump. Because P's percentage now. So if I go T-R-U-M-A-N, that's where it's that up from. Now look, what's this? Rum. Murder. It is. It is. Your N becomes a Z. So you have Za. Well, that's funny. Zaza. I was there dancing on water. A T is your connection. A T is not just a T. No. Where's the top of it? See, when you go over Arizona, or I think it's New Mexico, they call it mountain something, and there's this massive satellite up there, and it goes like this. Oh, y'all's in trouble. Y'all's in trouble. Because what you did was create a flat disc right here with no way to pin it. And what you didn't listen to is all of us. You stole all our patents. China. Because, see, New Orleans had all our information before that. So the Truman Show is quantum physics. If you haven't watched Ant-Man and Wasp Girl, go watch it just because it'll give you a quick download of what the F-balls is going on down here. And when I'm screaming Magog, and whenever I'm screaming, I just got blown out of the Matrix and I don't have a life. Well, that's because your world was being run like a video game. It's why I still smoke these. Everything in this new energetic is alchemy. Everything in this new energetic is alchemy. And basically what I'm telling y'all, everybody, is that this now, because we're in Libra season, and this is what we's all waiting for. We came here to clean, see, we came here to clean the Vector Pisces. Now, y'all had lots of options for Christs, FYI. There's 40,000 down here. There's 40,000 beings that are down here that are producing the frequency of what your program was of Christ. Why? Because that's how many we needed to try to get out of this bubble that most everybody doesn't know that you're in. And it's not being held by the devil, no. It's being held by a xenon unclear nuclear layer that Scientology created metal discs and with intention, put all this energetic in to build their little false pyramid associated to the Illuminati pyramid that everybody's still talking about. But no, it's the Scientology pyramid that's linked into NASA because they're the ones that are all doing it together. It's one big massive... It has been since the get. Are you kidding me? That's why they came after me to cook me and kill me. I was launching this in 2012. I do a LinkedIn video about how to put America back to work. I send it into a competition. Next thing you know, Trump and Obama are coming to have me murdered. Welcome to my spiritual world. That's how I got involved in spiritual stuff. That's why your spiritual community don't like me. That's why y'all kicked me out of every turn. But guess what? Y'all's cooking me. With whatever you had signed up to do, whatever you just thought you were just doing, if you met me in the last 5 years, oh shit. You's either in the soup with me and your entire DNA line, or in 2020, you's the one setting me up with your entire DNA line. Either way, if you're in the first part, then you're good now. If you're in the second part, you're in now. You're in. You just got put in. Putin. 2017 is when, because this is all math and physics. This is what I think is so funny. Everybody can call me crazy or call me whatever you want. All it is so advanced that you don't get it. Now that's fine with us because my God Almighty, I couldn't do this by myself. What'd I tell you? There's 40,000 Christs down here. A Christ is hooked into Sirius. That's a starseed that's already gone through. Well, I don't know. We all have a mixture. See, this is why each one of us was special in our own way. Each one of us, if you will. Now this is Christ. Now realize when I'm saying what a Christ is, that's just hooked into the human DNA down here and every single DNA strand that's here on this planet. You could have got that way from doing your own healing journey. You could have got that way from cleaning your Egyptian knowledge, because Cleopatra is Mary Magdalene. And then just 2 days ago, as I'm escaping from the devil and Muskogee, Elon Musk, and a gate in Oklahoma that blew my car engine in 2017, just getting to an eclipse because of the static that's going around that whole state. This is why nobody can do anything. Everybody's broke. No, everybody, but they're all spending money at Brinkers, right, Birch? Birch has had a special relationship with Norman Brinker, which happens to be where the Amber Heard Cookhouse was founded. 404. Yeah, we pulled ourselves out. We also roped a Wi-Fi cable around Eisenhower's head in Texas, and then we set it for 6 days, and then we blew the motherfucker up on my way back into the sun as a burning fucking comet with 2 of my seed in the car that we had just pulled out, my car shaking, my legs shaking. In Utah, you're in trouble. Because there wasn't nothing to hold the connection, but again, I was your planet. I even developed the tech in order to hold it together. All the ley lines and the GIS stuff that everyone loves so much, well, that was in my original codes. I even know how they use it in the technology world because I was used to build all of it. So were your star crew that were here as your masters in the 70s. That would have been the first tranche of what you'd call 1990 technology, but nothing really got real crazy until 2000. Whatever they did a Y2K. Now you got cash in, dash in, K is a splitter. I don't care what you say it is, it's a splitter, and it's deleted from fucking humanity, and I delete it from every living word, and the word mark is deleted from all ever living words. 2017, we, the collective, which is your planets. It's your organic tech. If you were in Jehovah's Witness, you signed up to be a planet. If you were ever a Mormon, you signed up to be a comet. If you were ever in any type of organization, or you were mummified and you have a mummy, and I'm not just talking the ones that you don't know about that are buried under Egypt, because Egypt's now Dallas, Texas. What I'm saying is Essenes. Do you know how many people have been mummified? Do you know they just tried to mummify me again last year by doing a wrap in a spa? This is why I haven't had to deal at all with physicians. I haven't had to deal with nurses. I haven't had to deal with lawyers' contracts. You know what I had to concentrate on? Cosmetology. And we need to get all these Asians off our feet, off our hands, man. Don't let them touch you. Don't, unless you know them. Don't. That's how it started. They got your hair, they're touching your legs, they want to know how it's so soft, they want to sit there and talk bullshit behind you, but what they're doing is sending their energy to a Weber. Literally, a Weber, James Webb. Look what I got over here. James Webb is just a giant ball of mirrors making one big bubble. On what? A bunch of T crosses that don't have a connection. Why? They didn't want you to connect. They want you to be in their frequency. They don't want you to connect to your ancients. They don't want you to know that this has happened before. No cross. So if you don't have this connection, when this bubble comes in, guess what? You're one of them. Now, this has happened to us over and over and over. The 2018. See, when you're holding your reality and you're focused on a collective story, you have no consciousness of time. Because the entire story fed to you on media and football too. Go Tennessee. That was the collective. You know why? You know why? You know why we helped Tennessee last night? Now listen. Because we just came out of a subfloor with all, because you can basically say some of us went back in that had already done it before. Okay? So we went back to the subfloor. Now what everybody didn't know is we had laid this 2018. We laid this up here. Everybody thought I laid it, I don't know, 2019. Nope, 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 nope. Me and Rex laid it way up here with y'all. When we had just cleared the planets. Before we had even connected to any of y'all's DNA. So it didn't matter what y'all did here. Y'all just wasted time. You wasted money. You wasted energy. You did it all for nothing. You hurt us all for nothing. But see, this we call demo mode. Beta version. See, now they're wanting to put you in the beta version of the, what is it, the school loan thing? Yeah. See, no. We've already done beta version. Because y'all thought it was live then. No. Using this. This ain't how the world's supposed to work. This wasn't how it worked before 2000. Your cycles go year to year. So we should be doing that and moving. Well, see, this is what we're doing up here now. Those of us up here, we already know how to do it here. We know how to do it here. And we know how to crash and burn all through here. This is your Sierra. When I talk about Shah and Sierra, I'm talking about those that have come before you that have died. Trying to get out. Because why? It's your only way out. The only way that you have out of this is how any of your DNA lines have walked before were ants. Ants and bees. Ants and bees. Anybody interested in getting the school started, please give me a call. We got all the tools. We got all the graphics. All we need is a building and somebody who can hold money in an account, or what you call money, because why? We've already gone through this so many times. I'm telling you, what we just pulled out was the last of the DNA on this planet that makes what you call money. Can y'all give me a thumbs up, please? Can y'all give me a thumbs up, please? Because, I mean, this should be being aired. And I command this be aired across all screens. I mean, if we've got to show up in the clouds and speak to you and take over your media, okay, let's do it. I order this aired in China, and I order them here, my voice coming through their broadband as we clear out of this well. Because this is what they see. This is what they did to us. We had to get, now, realize it's coming back again, guys, just like it did in 2018. But this time we're like, what? Because you ain't up here alone anymore. See, this used to be a whole subsect of beings, and then, man, your whole life could have been literally in this. And those of us ancients, that's what we're seeing, and that's why it blows our mind, and it hurts, and it's hard, and it sucks, because you find out, oh my God, my whole life is Christy. My whole life, 50 years. I just did 50. Heather did 30. Brenda did 60. Natalie, I can't remember. I think 80. She was born in 86. I mean, in my crew, you ain't going to ever get more Libra than me. And you ain't ever going to get no more Libra than my crew. So that means you ain't ever going to get more Arcturus. And you ain't ever going to get more Puritan Spica. Well, that's where your sun is right now. This is Puritan talk. The Puritans are the 200s that were burned at the witch trials. They'd also be the ones that's power was put into every occult book and made into a tree, so that the ancient power can source. So realize that what I'm telling you is that by essence of an occult book being read, and people and monkeys and whatever the hell reading that crap, and then doing sorcery magic from a book. What it was doing was binding the Puritans and sourcing the power. To blow this. For the entire collective. Okay? And FYI, y'all are about to see some entities and some demons and stuff that's gonna blow your mind. Cause the collective thought, what? Y'all, and this is all the elders, man, because y'all are the worst. And the Indian Oklahoma elders, I order all Indian reservations, lose all, anything. Indian reservations, all elders and Indian reservations, and whatever came from it from India. You lose all control or over your people. You're killing them and you're selling them out. And you're building Choctaw. And you're building casinos all over Oklahoma for selling your daughters out? Because you did. Because there is no more money. But you were convinced because you're the man and you know and you just follow the leader, right? Well, never was about the son, it's always about the daughter. You just sold out the entire human race to build a casino. Congratulations. There's your card. Step on in. Welcome to the club. Realize whenever I'm saying that, I'm serious. Those of us who held CEO positions, held high-ranking positions in 3D or in not 3D, when we find out we're speaking, guess what that means? Every word you say comes true. It's also why I do this too. You know why I do this? Because every word I say is prophetic. And I'm still having to train all of you. I'm still coming out of a well. I'm still coming out of programs myself. I'm still learning how to control my frequency so I can set, at least if I say it. And see, and this is those of us who have mastered communication and are mastering speech. It doesn't have anything to do with studying. No, the more you study for your speech, the more you're going to screw up. The more you research and get it all down, the more you're going to screw up. If you're being called to speak somewhere, then you know the information. What I'm telling you is what your body is doing is channeling all of it in the moment. And it depends on who's in the audience. It depends on who's backstage. It depends on where this land is. If you're a big speaker and you want to make sure to have a clear channel, then before you get there, you better clear the auditorium. That's your AU. This is what we use Tennessee for. We had to make a big, man, there on every single border last night of states, there is swells happening. Why? We came out from underground and we're penetrating your atmosphere. As an ancient, whenever I do a massive healing, I can't just heal somebody and pull you out of hell and then leave it up to somebody else to get rid of the bubble. What? That's why I had to prove tutor and deal with all this queen crap. I didn't come here to prove tutor and be your French queen. No, that's not what my channel's about, but I did prove tutor in 2018. And then that gave me the Cleopatra keys. I opened up your Uluru. I came out some weird mountain in Hawaii speaking light language that I shouldn't. But I had an Akashic Anne-Marie on my ass from Germany that claimed she brought in the codes in 2002. But her divine masculine has polio and he's in a wheelchair. Well, that's funny because this seems to be the story that happened to me. No, Akasha Anne-Marie. Now, the point of that is you open, whenever you do a clearing, See, there's teams of us. You can't open up an atmospheric bubble and let anything out unless you've been through a whole lot of claiming, man. I tell you what, in the very beginning, it was those of us in 2017. See, there were two different calls that were answered. You either answered the call because you came here, but there was another call that went out in 2017, and if you didn't change your course, you became a motherfucker coming after us. Now, it don't mean that one's right or wrong. What it means that if somebody answered the call in 2017, I don't care if you think they're homeless, because your perception of what they are right now, and even what we're showing you is not the real. We're not stupid. Don't let your eyes deceive you. We're still in the middle of it. You think we can come out of war and be like, the war's over? No. Because whenever we're pulling y'all up, guess where we're going? Straight into what you'd call another well. Especially if you're a leader. This is why you experienced 2018, got your ass kicked. Because you at least are leader of your well now. You're still going to come up another, because these layers are going to go up to 55 dimensions and then blow. The rest of your, I don't know what your dimensional, what you're set on, is way past 5D, and y'all need to stop saying that, because that's just taking over 14D, and 14D was what you'd call DAW, and DAW is Shaw and Sierra and MI6 and MI12 and any Project Philadelphia xenon layer that's right above the atmosphere, that whenever you get in it, nothing moves. Nothing moves. You have to be able to read it like a gas. Why you think people are hybridized like me to do it? Guess what? Your whole entire human, all y'all are hybridized to do it. Guess what? A lot of y'all stuck in there. You're stuck in there, and right now you're being utilized, and this is straight up. Because you know better, and the quantum businessman and your bullshit. Man, you fucked us so hard, man. And then you came, and then you still came to California, and then you didn't even bother to connect. I swear to God, and he's getting panda eyes. That dude is somehow connected into Biden. 100. Realize that I'm going to talk. I had the antimatter. I held the antimatter. I was actually in it. We all were. If we came from the shadow. You're in it too if you're down here. We're pulling you out. But y'all get up there and y'all are like, oh, we like it here. We'll just stay here. Well, guess what? The Mason thing, you know, whenever you look at the G angle, see, this was around me my whole life. So if you don't know what the G angle is, at least just go look at that. Because this is what they're using black magic and cooking people to do. In a big bubble, they need the physics to go down here. They need to go up here. Okay, have these people say Jaws. Have these people say Rick. Have these people say that. Do you know every single politician that's running right now in Texas and Oklahoma is made from codes that are people in my crew's lives that have popped in recently so that we'd say them? Or they were ones from 2000 that were like Willis or, man, they're everywhere. Because us, the collective, saying it is You know that guy that I Space Jam was on the other day in here for a minute, and they had Space Jam up all around me in Rex in LA, and fucking The Rock. Well, what I just had to pull myself out of, The Rock. Anything that they post in front of us that's so powerful, because whenever you're speaking or whenever you've cleared the speaker, because realize what I'm telling you, everybody's gonna have to go speaking to get out of here. And a lot of you went speaking. You went all the way through Arcturus to the heart, but then you did, because the knowledge of how to work the rest of it out, because once you get to the top of Libra, now you're in an Azarian. Now, an Azarian is 27 to 29 degrees Libra. Well, I pulled Excalibur's sword. It's on top of Antarctica. If you go zooming into the middle of Antarctica, you're going to find a little circle. I've got a video on this channel about it. And you're going to see a cross, and there's it literally took out Libra. It took out Libra and Arcturus. So our whole realm you didn't have access to Arcturus or Libra. That's my ray. That's what I had to come down here. I had to get it here. We had to all get together. We had to clean the planets. We all separated. 2017. What the fuck? How do we get out? Realize that until 2000 and the end of 2018 on the 1111 portal, us starseeds didn't know how to get out. We didn't know the story. Every single one of us was doing our own form of data, is all going into one what? Syrian mind. Why? Is how it works. You can't have your mind on Sirius anymore. You can't have your mind on drugs anymore. Your mind on drugs is being mined. And you can't have Akashic information anymore just made available in your head because you want to put it on recall. You can't just go, oh, show me the charts, and have it pulled up in your head and shown to you because a master's holding them for you that you've etherically bound underground. No, not anymore. There was a reason for it. And us masters sacrificed for it. You all read about it. You say Christ paid for my whatever, but then this layer is tricky. And I'm going to talk about that for a minute. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. Please give me a thumbs up, really. I get 2 thumbs up? Okay. See, as an ancient, I've never been so disrespected in my life. And we are the new rulers of your elements and your land. So, and we did have to put most of you into your Masonic strongholds last night from Ma'at, because now you've got to learn. See, the 33 Masons goes all the way up to 55. Do you know at each level that there is a punishment up to 33? Do y'all know that? See, this is what you don't know. Let me tell you, because they went in. There's a punishment. See, and this is what I talk about backpacks, and this is what all RH negatives know. Because RH negatives know we've been clearing your karma for the race. But we's made in Germany to do it. And then Russia got the controls. Then Ukraine got, see, what Putin was so mad about with Ukraine, he goes, we made y'all. Well, he did. This is it. Where are the princesses? I'm the last living princess of Judah. I proved it. I know all this. Your world is terraforming. I was in the Leah Fail. I put on over 80 heads when we put back together Brigitte in Ireland. I personally had to buy my seed back from pirates. I walked every commander and forefathers' steps in over 44 states in 4 years. Mostly by myself, and if not by myself, with a team of beings that was made specifically by either NATO, the government, or NASA, or Scientology and the Mormons, and an AB negative line. that was sent to me in order to alter it, because it's how it always was done. And somehow I ended up in Oklahoma on a dewdrop spell that now they are in. Because you cannot mess with the etherics of the collective in the human race, and you cannot take away free will here. And it's exactly what was done to the entire human race. I don't care who you, yesterday, because I mean, it's been, I'm not talking about if y'all want to know what happened, somebody can interview me. I'm not going to tell you over here. We're dealing with meth men, middlemen, Mayweather, Mayflower, May whatever. Never was the son, it's always the daughter, and it was always the sons trained to kill the daughters. 2 men shot the daughters. They didn't shoot each other. Magog. In the United States, what you'd call Mason is your streets and your land. Most of you that are with me at my level, you haven't been clearing DNA in your families for a long time, for the past 2 years. If you haven't left your town in a car, not in a plane, See, that's what I'm saying. That's 2 different frequencies. Look. If you're in a plane and you've already connected all of your DNA sequences, okay, or they were connected for you and you don't even know, and you're unconscious to the fact, like whenever they sent me to Florida right before they blew SpaceX 9 and tried to inseminate us on the dark side of the moon, like the day before Elon Musk released all the Tesla patents, February 29th, actually, some year, but February 28th, 2000, and what you'd call 19, that created your COVID-19, but that's only because they blew Gaia out of the planet. Terra, the one that, like, makes everything real here, and the entire strand of beings that's on 9 dimensions that is hooked into all your planets, that makes the orbits of your body in a AU space that you thought was just space, but no, it's your guts, it's between your organs, it's your body. It's your body, because our bodies work together. They did. Yours do now if you haven't come out, if you're not ascended, if you're not with us. This is why we're screaming at you, because these are going to get worse and worse. This is cancer in the worst way. It ain't going to be cancer, though. It'll be something new. It'll be something new because the universe will attack it for you attacking it. This is why John Bonet, Diana, same being, same thing. You take one of us out on one dimension, you don't realize how it's streamed, and then a death will happen. But see, Diana was taken out of tunnel. She went down sub. Olivia Newton-John died whenever we cleared this etherically. Well, guess what, guys? I'm pretty sure we got one more sub-chamber. Okay? First of all, that's just coming in right now. We just cleared one sub-chamber. We're at Spica. Now, in this layer, when you go 0 point, you probably aren't going to like the way you look. You're probably going to go, oh my, I mean, look, my skin was flaking. I'm having, it's like I literally, because, see this? You're up in a plane. You're unconscious. Nobody's there holding this connection to make sure that it goes with it. And so all these go with it. Instead, what they did is consciously, a whole bunch of them had us move the moon and break the Elton antenna. Same way that they used us remnant star seeds to sink the Titanic, and I can prove it. But if you're in a plane moving, then realize there's submarines that if you happen to be a star, like a real star, and you're in the plane, then trust there's some sub-Navy stuff that's all going on down here, because you're moving, so they're gonna move. Well, if this moves and everything shifts over here, and they just move the moon, then guess what? You're now on the dark side of the moon. But so is the entire human race. But they did it to make 5G when I dropped the Elton antenna, which is 29 degrees. They knew I'd have to. But I was in the chamber and they had all my codes. Remember, I was your planet. Connected to all y'all. So what happens whenever you drive it physically in a car is that you pop outside of your bubble. Now, if you would have told me that there's magic to this extent in the world before I walked through this, I wouldn't have believed you. Like, realize my whole experience was just like you. I was in a program. I was in corporate. I've opened a company. They came for me. I invented something. They came for me. They wanted it. Because you're in a bubble. Whenever you reach a static up here, they're like, mine. Because why? They had all these old spells linked into our DNA. And they knew all this stuff that our DNA had done. Meaning, like, see, I was always made from 3 military. Well, at first it was 3. I know they used to start with 3s. And so they, every 10 years, they would all jizz in a cup. There would be like a lottery. If your DNA was going to be chosen, literally. And then it's like, okay, these DNA lines are going to be chosen. So then they start writing the story. Well, then they're going to go back and look through all their records to find out who living descendants are in order to connect whatever story they want, whatever war they want, like whatever. And those would be called my fathers. I'm explaining to you the RH negative program at a base root too, because realize as the AB negative out at the rim, like I'm the AB negative, you don't want to wake up. Realize I'd have been happy. I'd have been better off if I wouldn't have had to go all the way down and subfloor, wake up and come out of your planet. This isn't what was devised for right now. This is what happens whenever you get shock activated because your realm's taken and put in the Truman Show. I talked to so many in 2020, even one in Australia, that sat and told me, well, yeah, we trained 300 years to come in and take over these bodies. What? Wait a minute, what did you just say? I mean, it's just like it's another thing, okay? And so realize there's that whole, and this is when I realized, oh shit. Now realize every single time that the government would have me around them, and even every crew member that traveled with me, their original intention was to heal it. They were being used. So see, I remember their original intention, and realize I even know that I'm the one that they trusted to pull them out of hell. For me to remember it. But no matter, I still have to make it through the story. Because it is what it is. I cannot lie. It's a recorder. I just walked the vector Pisces. What you just found out is how bad your family is. Because if you live in it, then that means somehow it was mixed up in your RNA. Well, how'd I end up in these wars and shit? Why is everybody sending me EMFs? Why am I being blamed to be a nuclear weapon? The Al-Qaeda guy, I did it. I did. I pulled back the Eye of Ra, and it was in Al-Qaeda. And what the fuck is the Eye of Ra doing in Al-Qaeda? And I did it from Anaheim on top of Tesla, being trained by Einstein and Tesla to get the goddamn eye back. I did it. I did. With the rest of the collective. Because who the fuck do they think they are? This is divine law of the human race. If you go look at Dubai, there's little islands. One's called California, one's called whatever, right? And then they got their palm tree, and they got this bullshit. Well, that's what it was. They's all bred to link in and hold hands. And what? Y'all walked around Mecca? Like, they literally had us to collect. This is how we got into the sun. Every single time that y'all would do something to counteract the course of evolution, we'd be made and delivered every power. Every person. And look, we don't need you. We can walk into your descendant and walk into a Circle K and get exactly what we need. Because that's how you did it. That's how we figured out what you did. Because we were just using your stuff. Opposite. And with consciousness, I had him doing the Cotton Eye Joe around that motherfucker the whole goddamn time this year. Because why? It was linked into the Greek spell in Florida, where you did the 50 virgin bullcrap with me and Trista and A.B. Negs and a little baby that you didn't give Rogam, that became a demon-breathing dragon, that her mother is just letting her go crazy. And that's why you had weird da-da-da-da-da. And it's why whenever I went in the car with them, the whole undercarriage melted and the engine started knocking. Now I know. It's because they were attempting to connect to this Oklahoma ridge and the summit. Because we just finished it. I was shaking so hard, my leg, I couldn't barely drive. Understand, I was running out of energy. I was diving into your sun. Because I had gone all the way out. Guess where y'all were? Out there. If you go back and look to yesterday, the sun diving comet. Me, Heather, and Andrew. Andrew? That's funny. That's a name we all know from a Natalia Epstein show. Because the whole entire world gave over your story. Y'all sent your DNA. And you got an Ancestry Mormon version? Bullshit. All of you knew you were supposed to be learning about your DNA. See, inherently. Because it's evolution. So it's like, okay, that makes sense, right? Now I found out where I'm from. But see, no, you did it in technology and you sent your actual DNA. And so then you went into a lab database of 64-bit encryption that they tried to run the world off of 64 gene keys, because I was in Arizona to give Ashley and Arizona the 32-bit encryption, but instead they sacrificed me and a baby under an eclipse, just like they did 1972. But it would have to happen again because it happened before, and we're recorders. And that's what I'm here to do, is tell you how the fuck it happened. It had nothing to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. I'm finally, for the first time, I've come out of your planet, understand. Now I understand Gig'em. I know why they use the thumb. Anybody that's missing a thumb? Anybody that's missing a thumb in your life? They's in the Shah. They's in the Shah. The only way to get back in through that etheric bondage that they have wrapped above your head would be to lose your finger. Because there would have been no other way to get through there unless you can turn to full raw like me and the rest of the collective, which is why California, you're fucked. You led us there to build up a commerce energy with the whole collective, and then you kicked out the ancient holding it. In fact, you cooked and killed us and tried to spinal tap us in California so that you could keep it floating. Because why? Because the East became on that side now. So now the East is West. So since we flipped it, so now you're just gonna pull us there, and you're just gonna China net us in with China. And now realize what China's doing with this antimatter is channeling all the blood magic and all the murders and every name of person that's been murdered and every one that they're having eaten. This is why they're showing you Jeffrey Dahmer right now. Guess what? Natalie caught it. Where'd you have your tornadoes? Well, you got the collective focusing on murder and Jeffrey Dahmer. Boom, shakalaka. Keep focusing on it. Let's see what happens next. The collective is now manifesting those tornadoes because you got the whole world looking at murder. And guess what? You ain't going to have a bunch of little serial killers with some Philip in the brain on an Andrew pump chump on some Epstein whores that you tracked down and mind fucked. Because that's what they did. You're aren't. This is us from the future. This is why we couldn't stop. You could call me crazy all you wanted. It didn't matter. Every time I left here, I thought I was never going to come back, and I didn't. I'm just now coming back out of what they did. Because what black magic was vampirism. And all of us were doing it. It's what your blood was made. Reddit. You want to post out there, and Jeremy Epic, how come you had the keys and understanding the signatures? And why are you just now seeing it? Because we cut your industry yesterday. Epic, you're done. Medical software, you're done. Any type of C mainframe, you're done. It's all deleted. It doesn't exist in this realm. 9/11 didn't happen either. I can prove what it is. I did it at that house. I have the proper energetic sequence. That wasn't planes that hit your house. That's what they projected to you. No, it isn't what hit them. And I can prove it. All they wanted to do was hold these pillars. We had two right here. Well, I'm sorry. That's merging of spheres. When these pillars came down, boom, shakalaka. I'm sorry, atomic bomb. Same frequency. What year was that? 60 something? There you go. So what was happening up here is that what they's doing was leading all of us starseeds all around the United States in 2020 and 2021. Why? Because they knew right now, what's about to happen. Because why? This is your looking glass. This is your Philadelphia. This is your Sierra. This is your Shaw. Because this is the world that they lived in. All they're doing is making bets on horses attached to DNA down here and killing mass amounts of people. I know. I had to play their fat game. It's why I'm so disgusted and I'm always pissed off. You want to blame me for that? You can play the frat game with them. Be thankful I knew the frat game. Why are you blaming me? You're going to blame me for the 3 dads that jizzed in a cup and said that they're my dad because nobody would claim me down here in a rot because why? I was 13 families. So you're going to send me all your karma because I'm your daughter. And you're going to send me all your karma from space. And you're going to shift it to me. And you're going to make me clean it. And then I got so good at it that I did it for 30,000 years in a time warp. Yeah, that's the Judah line. If you identify with that, yep, that's what it was. Why can I put all this information in a deck of cards? How can these tools change your life? Is everything in the sea. Is how the fuck we did it. This is where your tarot lives, but see, here's the problem. No more tea. If you don't have the arrow, you ain't got shit. This is why all of you that are doing tarot are like, I don't need the cards. Why you have the cards? Because these people down here need to see, oh, she's getting it from somewhere. No. No. You get it from inside you. Why? Everybody gave your story away to China. I mean, I found a Christy Genzel. Go look on Facebook for Christy Genzel. It's a damn Asian. I guarantee you she ain't from the Apostle Genzel line. They took over everybody's names. They took over all my domains. I know which program y'all are I'm running because it shows up. Why? Because if they take it, then it becomes free. This is why there is no more money. Stop paying your mortgage. They blew me out of a rocket to make rocket mortgage. Now realize, they blew the ascended out into space to make you have to pay for your land. Everybody stop paying each other. Nobody make anything new. You don't know how to do it. We don't know how to do it. We've never fully been over here. If I could break this board in half right now and bend it, then there's your primers. Your 7th generation became Saudi Arabia Al-Qaeda, and they've been sending you messages. If you've been hearing it loud and clear, that's what it is. If you're working it like a druid and you know it was attached to a healing that you did, then that's the real deal. If someone else did your healing for you and you know that you have a twin, and this has nothing to do with sex. I have never showed up to any of my masculines in any dimension, number one, and asked them for anything but to meet me. They're the ones who want money. They're the ones who want my focus. They're the ones who want me to say their names over and over again. Why? Because their management wants us to do it so that we build up their character and then they can run them. And then our men think, oh, you didn't have anything to do with this. You didn't oh, really? Because, yes, we did. We manifested your fame for you because we're supposed to be working together. But since you don't think that family means anything, you don't think your body means anything, you didn't hear us screaming whenever you wanted to make bit. See, understand that in a family, the female is cleaning the karma of whatever the male is doing. If you're consciously having sex with somebody, or unconscious, you're cleaning the karma of whatever they do all day. If you happen to be the daughter of a bunch of serial killers by name because they decide to jizz in a cup in prison, then that's what you clean the karma of. That's what you're cleaning the karma of. You aren't living no Henry the this. If you didn't come through this if you didn't answer the call in 2017, you didn't clear your family lines. We did. You made money. You have to realize there's a whole other subsect that cleaned your family lines and lived all your murders that have yet to come to pass, but will if you don't listen to us. Now, on the flip side of that, you have all of our resources. You have all of our resources that are 3D. Why? You have them. Who paid for them? We did. Not you. We did. We had to go open the Alamo. We had to clean all your nasty shit. We had to meet you in every dimension. We had to send you messages in the matrix to your current now. The whole reason that you're even here, if it's because in 2018 your ascended crew had to go back into hell to get to this layer. Why? Because we got up here, we was all by ourselves. You would have blamed us for being this, and that. You would have called us Lucifer. Okay, I'm your Lucifer. I am. Thank God I was down there. I've answered 2 phone calls on what to do with the souls of all your children. They called me. That's why I was down there. To intercept the call. I know that we even took over Trump's voice recognition to yell China in August so that we could get out of the box that he etherically cooked us in. Philip. Where's Philip? See, Philip is Epstein. By the way, I live off Epright on Megan. But I am the mother of the Toltec. And she's a double simian. Made. Not a real one. China made. With Epstein programs. All y'all got Epstein programs running. You do. You no longer have your RNA story from your Henry history or from your Mary Queen of Scots or for your Ireland. You don't. You don't. We do. We do. We connected all of it. That's why your queen's dead. And by the way, it took 50,000 of us to make her. That chick's finally free. She really died in 2002. We couldn't figure out how the hell she's still running. Well, then she did switch dogs, didn't she? And then what? You had a whole bunch of women that were made and forced to have sex with 7. Well, I'm sorry. That's the ISIS underworld. That's the Princess code. Why? Because we had to have sex with all you nasty fucks in order to do your DNA. And then we signed up to come here and do it. And then what? You liked the product, so you just decided to commercialize it? Because that's what you did. So then basically you fed the world Christ every day to keep him sedated. That's what you did. Then you, with intention, said it was a swan, and you did this black magic bullshit. And then all of us that happened just to be doing what we're supposed to be doing and have proved that we are the true whatever, because that isn't even why we's here. That's why you're looking for us, but that isn't why we's here. We's here to trump your bloodline and erase you. Because you keep cooking us. The whole world just cooked your own blood. That's why everything went raw. But your planets are blowing up because this is your Saturn rings, your AB negs. There's your rings. AB negs, you're getting the most horror of it all. AB positives, you think it's bad, so then you thought, oh, you know, and then you set up a seal and you won't listen to anything that the negs were doing, so then you just signed the whole world over to the empire. You did. If you met an AB neg, run. Run. Unless they're speaking truth. When they're if they're in an unconscious, run. Run. Or be powerful enough to fucking know that as soon as you give them the truth, and you're gonna have to yell at them. See, everybody wants to say, why are you yelling? Why? Because it was yelled into you. It's deprogramming of the mind. If it was yelled into you, I can't sweet talk it out. If it's sweet talked into you, I can sweet talk it out. That's why my country accent, wherever I am in a situation, oh, it gets real country when I'm dealing with the most evil motherfuckers, because I'm having to hold that energy inside me so that it doesn't come across here. Because if it does, I'm going to get met with it. And it's over. There. Now, if we're existing in a bubble, and this is why you have to fight, there's certain things. I know what I know, and I know what I don't know. If you know what you know and you know what you don't know, you're in good. But if you think you know everything, you're screwed. There's certain consciousness that if you're in the room with me, I cannot let you trump me. Because I'm connected way up there and I know I'm right. Now, we can talk about anything else, but if it's physics, stars, DNA, health, like, you're never going to say, I'm sick around me. I'm not going to allow you to say it. Yeah, you know, and you're going to get mad. You're going to be like, I am sick. Okay, whatever. Tell me what's wrong. Why wouldn't you tell me? I can heal you. I'm sick. Okay, be sick. Fuck, go. But you're not going to make me sick in my bubble because you're telling me I'm sick. See, this is, I mean, I can post emails from this sorcerer that was possessed. But see, we stopped the last possession. But it was set up on a techno party from France. And they came into LA. And it was on Hill Street and Olive Street and Hope Street. And ended up with me getting cooked in a red dress, chained to the devil again, literally, from Pegasus Place in a Marcus, an electric parade that he signed up a 503C on, but that he could give me one night, but that I know women have been murdered in Pegasus Place because it's linked in with ExxonMobil, and I was channeling all of them, and I was hearing, run, run, run. That's what you got me out of, but guess what? I had to go there. Malibu, Calabasas is all part of making a celebrity. I was in the soup. So all you celebrities and entertainers, FYI, I was in the soup. I was in the soup with every freaking single one of you. Every one of you. Since the beginning of what you would call time. Or anybody that was in a Masonic contract of any sort. That'd be what my life became. Because you. I don't care who you are. That's who we are. That's who the ascended are. We're your management in every sense. And especially when it comes to Hollywood, because that's what we had to take over to bring down the handler system. And there is no Morgans, and you don't get your face taken and put on a presidential flippy floppy because they tried to make me a black man. I'm sorry. What was your serial killer that just got in Stockton? But I did have to track down the Haka demon. And then send half of it in a female version to Hawaii. That is now channeling on your Momoa. But we'll see if he gets it. Right now, it ain't looking too good. I don't want to be with that man in that way. Not right now. It isn't why I came to him to begin with. Henry Cavill, Tom Cruise, Scientology, I got your money. I got all your DNA. We got Shelley. We got all the missing 7. We had access to every single data, every single piece of metal. Trust. We can turn to whatever we need to get whatever we need to. And now none of you are in control anymore. You're being controlled by the rest of us. And now what's happening is you're having to clean your own bubble. Now it's real easy. You have to recognize that we paid for your shit. And then you have to make it balanced. I don't know. We don't know. We's in a soup, man. We didn't put the ingredients in. We just met the carrots and we met the meat. And then we figured out who was in the soup. All because is in our spinal cavity and they's coming through our eye. Because this was raw. Fomo hot. Pisces 3 degrees. And it had a cataract problem. That we's there to un-Henry the 8th out of. Realize what I'm telling you. all of you that are in the Masonic whatever, that did whatever, you just got sentenced in your layers. Now you're going to find out what AU and what we's all screaming about. Because you know what? We're the ones who had to sentence you. You think that this bubble runs on your bullshit, that you want to keep Rocket Mortgage and you want to keep all this money and you want to keep this illusion up, fine. But you ain't doing it off my line. You're doing it off your own. So FYI, the past 3 years of me having to deal with these fucking characters and trust Jason Momoa, Henry Cavill, and if you're one like me, then you've got your own trinity of bullshit. We had to take over both of you. Momoa, they had him join a red rum murder gang throughout this because of the Freddy stuff. And you know, how do you tame a lion? You keep it fed. You say yes, yes, yes to everything they say, and then lies, manipulation, I mean, mirror magic, I mean, shit. A lot of y'all were on the same road with your twins at the same time, and they split the fee. There ain't no payment that's ever going to ignite a union. Ever. Ever. Because the money has already been cleared and paid for at this point. All the money, see, and we're about to hold some big conferences. And Rockefellers and Hermosa, you think is gone. No, honeys, I'm coming back. I got your full support. I know that. $777 is how much it's going to cost for a ticket. All you big CEOs and shit, and all you entertainers, you better show the fuck up. If you want to not be controlled by your creative whatever, because the only thing they ever did down here was control our money. Why? Because they were controlling your body. There is no more money. There isn't. There's a current of exchange. I just saved all of y'all's lives. I have $14. Actually, I have $4 now, because $9.99 Apple took a bite to hold my 60,000 pictures so that I could give them over to the proper people. I'm done hiding the internet. I'm done tricking the system to try to hide the information, because I had everything that everybody was trying to... So realize, Henry Cavill's murders, Tom Cruise's murders, all these people that are about to get killed in the future for stealing from us, I paid the karma for them murdering me. And every dollar that they had me send to them was for spell work. They turned around and gave it to someone else to do spell work on me. Because I was trying to figure out how the fuck. At some point, we had taken back everything. We had already liquidated the cauldron. Like, there was no dark magic. So it's like, how is this still happening? The money. Because what's the world? The world is worshiping money. See, this is how us divine feminine, we pulled off ascension without getting into union, because they never would have allowed us to get into union. So what was and what is and what always was, and then used in an evil way, which you'd call Mason signals, subliminal messages. What, sub messages? Yep, that's what they are. They're sub messages. They're sub messages that are coming into a channel. I don't care, whatever your intention, whatever somebody's intention, to send this sub message, if your intention has us in it, we will see it. We will. We will. We'll drive. I mean, we can't help it because we're so pure. If your intention is to post something on the internet and do it like a freaking, and make it a mermaid and then have somebody act like they're catching it, I will see that Insta feed as soon as you fucking put it up. Or I'm going to see it when I'm clearing it. Because I just jumped. Because you laid that. So I was able to utilize it because you had the world think it was me. Because that was your intention. So then that actually becomes my route up out of whatever your intention is. Whenever you drive by our house and you throw my birthday codes into my yard, and I'm not doing, and your intention as a gang is to, as a quantum gang, is to fuck up my bubble, as soon as you do, number one, it negates the whole thing and it spirals you out of the whole thing. And it's going to pull me out of my house to go to my front yard. I'm going to go directly to it. That's how it works. So in Instagram and whatever the intention is, whenever you're seeing these weird things, you're like, oh my God, he's mirroring me. Oh my God. I mean, fucking me and my, because you will. You mirror your twin because they're right there. They're watching you. You're really staring at each other in another dimension. All you're doing is making a move over here while they're making a move. You are. You are. See, this is why the prison system and the P rising, because all they's doing is arresting people and putting them in a wall. And then if you're attached to all of them in jail, then you ain't leaving your house. You have agoraphobia. But you don't know that. See, this is what was so fucked up with the Chastia. This is why this ends now. And China, get the fuck out of New York. Marie Helene is throwing your ass out. Marie Helene, all of us that paid for those channels there, that have paid with our blood, sweat, and tears for America, that have been raped, murdered, beaten, held hostage in every fucking way by forefathers that were here that sold off their daughters to make sure you Magog fucking fake motherfuckers don't come down here. Well, you just met the fucking hardened girls, and we ain't having it. Get the fuck out of New York. Take your toy soldiers and your Magog mind control with it. Go live in your Disneyland freaking fake house land. And then go over to Dubai and plant a flag. You ain't coming after my women, Saudi. You ain't coming after my children to get to my women, Saudi. You must be funny if you think that we have to prove Anastasia from the consciousness of 3 princesses and reenact the Harvest Girls from 7,000 years ago. We'll do it. And we did. This is a notice to China. Because every single little Mason code and little flip of a code that you used with Umbrella and your little Cuba and your little phonetic playground that you did with your little constellation web. Here you are. Elon Musk. Formed from all corporations and stolen patents. Boom. There he is. Constellation web. Worked with the government and Ukraine. Made tons of clones in a hybrid like an army. Linked into all of your vaccines. And you're running their game board for them. Constellation Web bred 35 gens to do it. These gens are made out of black magic and AI. And run. Because they have no consciousness. And they don't fucking care. They're binary. They're the ones who have been programming for 300 years to get into your body. Because you think this just all blew up here. Oh, hell no. How long ago? I mean, We've been trying to get back down. The bubble's just now finally moving up to where you're seeing the war. And that depends on where you cleared to get it. So that's what, there ain't no judgment here. If I yelled at you on this channel for any reason, I'm trying to save you. I mean, hell, we're even proving our ex-husbands. Guess what? You want to be stupid right now. You do. You want to be stupid. Stupid is your get out of Tartarus free card. Because understand, everybody that just thought, oh, we're going to put another one on Christy Genzel. Oh, we're going to put another one on Christy Birch. Oh, we're just going to get the line of Judah one more time. No, honeys. You weren't going to get your dog fighting ring. You weren't going to get your money. You weren't going to get your drugs. You just sold out your entire healing human race. Why? You's already clear. They knew it. You didn't. They wouldn't let us tell you. You's already clear. What you did was go sign up your whole race and your current siblings, not the Masonic daughter that was sold off a gillion years ago that everyone just forgot of, that the Steens and the Segals and the whatever the fuck Polanskis, because this is all about Tate. This is all about Manson. This is all about serial killers. That's why they make them. Lethal injection, need to stop it now. That's basically, that's your mustard gas. They're just going into where? Shaw consciousness. Then what are they doing in Detroit? They're wiping all their records. Now what are they doing? Credit fraud. They stole all your stuff. Duh, they stole your data. They stole your wife. You can't do that for the ones that have ancient information. I mean, you can't do that. We're tired of it because then we have to wait. We know you're not going to get away with it, but then we have to wait for all these people and this free will and not anymore. Not anymore. This thing went divine. I'm going to close right now. If you were in the 90s, realize you're in the X generation. What is that? The SpaceX generation is what it is. We was here to remember what it was like before. Go back to it. Stop complaining that ain't how it is. Just go out in your world and make it that way. It will change according to what you set it. Whenever I go out and I'm in my energy, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking everybody back to the good old days when you went out to the bar. So you weren't out there drinking, you socializing. Why? It's part of being a human. You have to move your bubble around so you magnetically charge to meet people. You don't do it from behind a screen and a mask. That's when someone else jumps in your sphere and takes over the projection. Duh. That's why they had you in masks. That's why they have you in boxes. Get mad in your box. If you're stuck in your box, all you got to do is dance your ass off. I'm sure something will happen. If you don't know how to surf the Shah, and if you ain't working with us or somebody like us that knows how to surf and quantum jump and then knows when to sit down, that knows when to fight, then knows when that healing thing comes back up, because then you are the blister. So even if you're fighting it, now you've got to come back in, because you have to heal up, because from the inside is where all your energy is coming out. From the inside, a magnet inside of you. And guess what? If you spontaneously throw up, you got xenon out of your stomach, or you got oil out of your stomach, or you got a magnet out of your stomach. Or actually it's in your esophagus. If you spontaneously throw up through all this, it's because there's something in you that was holding a static charge into a bubble that with all these other people that was making you pull all of them up when it wasn't your job. So fucking bleh. All right, cool. Beep. There's my family. If you spontaneously have liquid poop, moon magic, Mercury. If you had to throw up so much and black goo came out like I did, oil. Whenever we come out and you start coughing, you're getting carbon out of your lungs. You've been in a cave, you've been underground, some of you have been in cryo. Two of you were in cryo, 2 of you were vampires. I know that for sure. You weren't supposed to be. You were. There's one still down there. She's your new queen. I'm pretty sure it's Madonna. Or whoever the fuckballs that Eminem Madonna entity is. Because they're the same band. Run off of 50 Cent. And a Chris Hart. Who's the gimp. In prison. Your government moved all the head of IRAs to one facility. That's who I've been dealing with.